Okay, we have just seen the video on how forest fire in Indonesia created a lot of haze to neighboring countries like Singapore and Malaysia. Because burning of trees result the production of huge quantity of smoke. And when this smoke carried by the wind, it will affect definitely the people living there and also transboundary. I mean, they cross over to another country. And this will cause reduced visibility. For example, as I told, airport closed, right? Because it's not safe to land the aeroplane. You can't see what's in front and not safe to take off. So it affect the tourism. And this will affect all the people there and even animals. Okay, animals can also get lung cancer, which later we'll see one very interesting song called the Haze song. The Haze song will tell you how animal also get lung cancer.
You can use radar to land.
Use radar, yeah, to land. Okay, but not very safe. Yeah. Okay, next one, the acid rain. I will talk about it briefly because this one I think is not really tested in PSLE. Some school have not teach this, right? Did your school teach acid rain? No, never mind.
Yeah, one
Yes,
part.
one part. Okay, basically it's the heavy industry. They release a lot of toxic smoke into the air, and then when the rain comes, the rainwater, right, will dissolve the particle. Okay, because when the rain comes, the rainwater will dissolve the harmful particles, and this will fall down as acid rain. That means acidic rain that can damage building, harm trees and aquatic animals. So the most sensitive to acid rain are actually the trees and aquatic animals, such as those clams, yeah, clams and fishes. They are affected by the pH of the water, the acidity of the water. So there's acid rain. Okay, next is the ozone layer. Ozone layer is good. Okay, ozone is good. Okay, what does ozone do? Okay, I have put here point 36 and 37, actually 34 also. Okay, the ozone layer protects living things from harmful UV ray from the sun. It's like a sunscreen for the earth. The harmful UV ray will be absorbed by the ozone, and then some of them reflected back into outer space. So we don't get so much UV ray. Because UV ray, ultraviolet ray, can cause diseases. They can cause skin cancer and eye disease if you are exposed to UV ray. Just give me a second. Okay, let's watch this about the ozone depletion. It's loading, but a bit slow. Just hang on. Go.
15 to 35 kilometers above Earth's surface, a gas called ozone surrounds the planet. The ozone layer acts as a barrier between Earth and ultraviolet radiation from the sun. However, pollution has caused the ozone layer to thin, exposing life on Earth to dangerous radiation. Earth's atmosphere is made up of 6 layers. The second layer, called the stratosphere, contains the ozone layer. The ozone layer is made up of a highly reactive molecule called ozone, which contains
That's why it's O3. Ozone is O3, three oxygen atom.
3 oxygen atoms. Ozone is a trace gas in the atmosphere. There are only about 3 molecules for every 10 million molecules of air.
So it's very rare. 3 in 10 million. Okay, 3 ozone molecules in 10 million air molecules. That's why it's very rare.
But it does a very important job. The ozone layer acts as Earth's sunscreen, absorbing about 98% of damaging ultraviolet or UV light.
So this is the ozone. As you can see, this ozone has holes, right? It's damaged by the CFC.
But the ozone layer has gotten thinner. Chemicals called chlorofluorocarbons, or CFCs, are the primary culprits in ozone layer breakdown. A CFC is a molecule that contains the elements carbon, chlorine, and fluorine. CFCs are mostly found in refrigerants, aerosols, and plastic products. When CFCs are exposed to ultraviolet rays in the atmosphere, they break down into substances that include chlorine. The chlorine reacts with the oxygen atoms in ozone and rips apart the ozone molecule. Areas of damage in the ozone layer are often called ozone holes, but that name is misleading. Ozone layer damage is more like a thin patch, with the thinnest areas near the poles. The ozone layer above the Antarctic, in particular, has been impacted by pollution since the mid-1980s. There, the region's low temperatures speed up the conversion of CFCs to ozone-damaging chlorine. About 90% of CFCs currently in the atmosphere were emitted by industrialized countries in the Northern Hemisphere. In 1989, the Montreal Protocol banned the production of ozone-depleting substances. Since then, the amount of chlorine and other ozone-depleting elements in the atmosphere have been falling. Scientists estimate that chlorine levels will return to their natural state in about 50 years. By then, the Antarctic ozone hole will shrink to smaller than 8 million square miles.
Yeah, there's a color coding here, you can see, right? Just now was very thin, right? So the higher the better. So now the green part represent like this 300 units of ozone concentration under this Dobson unit. Okay, so this is the part on ozone, which I mentioned about this part. Okay, so ozone is being destroyed by CFC, chlorofluorocarbon, being released because as they rise higher, the UV ray will split them and then they will attack the ozone molecules. So this, at least you need to know that ozone layer is good, but it's being slowly destroyed by CFC. So to prevent this, we must ban CFC. Okay. So they signed the agreement among the countries, right, to reduce or totally eliminate the production of aerosol and refrigerant that uses CFC. Okay. So because UV ray overexposure will cause skin cancer. Because if the ozone layer becomes thinner and thinner, you got more incidence of skin cancer and eye disease. Okay? Can understand this one? Okay, let me see. All clear. Okay. What diseases like cataracts? Okay, cataract, like you see the sun, yeah. Some of this, yeah. So let's continue this part. Okay, what example? Okay, what example I would discuss now?